What's going on, everybody? We are back out here. Foul on in. It is time for another episode of the Unfiltered podcast with your man Apollo and my man Z. We are out here this week. We are doing the top 5 running backs because it's very hard to do a top 10 for a position that is pretty much a dead position. And I don't think there are 10 good takeover running backs in the league. Anyway, so if you missed last week's episode, there will be a link in the description. Go check it out. We did top 10 quarterbacks. Our lists are very similar to what the experts say for the top 10 quarterbacks. So y'all be sure to go check that out. Before we get started, guys, announcements real quick. Football season is coming, so we're going to be ramping up back on this sports podcast and stuff. Me and Z will be doing a season preview video. We will give our predictions. Who we think is going to go to the Super Bowl, who we think is going to win, who's going to win MVP, Coach of the Year, all that, the hoop line job. 2, I will be doing a Cowboys video. I may do that with J-Bro. Y'all can watch us just heartbreak over how bad we think the Cowboys are going to be this year. They're going to be horrible. All right. 3, also, go make sure you guys check out the Road to Madden 22 series with DJ. Go check it out. Madden 22 news is ramping up. I do have the next gen copy pre-ordered digitally. I'll be playing 3 days early. But without further ado, Z, we are back, my man. Here we are.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
It feels good, man. We are back. This week we are covering the top 5 running backs. And just like last week, I'm going to let you go first, my man. Honorable mentions. We're going to start with honorable mentions. So yeah. I'll let you get yours out the way first.
All right, so the reason why running back is such a hard position to try to get a top 10, kind of like what you said, it's kind of an expendable position, but not really. When we're talking about fullbacks, that's kind of going out of style, but your halfbacks are still in style. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that they're very injury prone because they're always running through the hole. Exactly. So when we are looking at it, like me and you talked about, it's a top 5 because half these guys that we're going to talk in honorable mention were injured, but they're top tier quarterback. They're running backs.
Yeah, exactly. Just the constant pounding. So
yeah. So my first honorable mention, he almost squeaked down the list for me, was Kareem Hunt.
I agree.
He's a viable starter.
Yes.
He's a viable starter for any team. But he's part of a tandem team in Cleveland, and he's number 2, not number 1.
Exactly. I agree. I'm going to agree with that. I'm just going to say, Kareem Hunt. Saquon Barkley, man. Saquon.
Yeah, I guess Saquon and Christian McCaffrey, but they just came off ACL.
You know, it's C-Mac is on my list. I know he came off an injury, but before the injury, he was probably, if not the premier back in the league. Now, I still got C-Mac on the list. I do have him on the list. Now, I agree with you. Yes, he can possibly be an honorable mention, but I think with the fact of him being still young, he's going to come back strong this year. So that's why
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing with Saquon Barkley. It's just, I feel like they just because of that, I just wanted to,
they can interchange.
Top 10
or
top 5.
We can put Saquon on there technically.
Oh yeah.
But I think his injury was way more severe than C-Mac. So that's why I got C-Mac on the list. But you have anybody else on honorable mention? Oh,
yeah.
Aaron Jones of the Packers.
Okay, I got Ezekiel Elliott, man.
I can't do it, man. I can't.
The major reason, if you look at running backs, like a pure running back, man, Zeke is the guy. He was really one of your top guys in the league, except for he's got the nickname Mr. Fumble for a reason.
Right.
Not only is that, he's had more fumbles than any running back since 2014.
And
now, taking into account that he didn't get in the league till 2016.
Right. It's only 2021. And he hasn't really been the most healthiest and in best shape the last couple of years. Pretty much since he got his contract, it's like he just been on this just steep decline, and he hasn't been what he was the first season. I mean, he's declined each year.
I think the major thing is, dude, Jerry Jones has said time and time again, if you get injured, I'm taking these contracts.
Yeah.
And I think it's gotten his head, man.
I agree, man. I don't know.
So
it is what it is. But we're gonna get started, man. So who you got at number 5? Because you not having C-Mac, I'm very curious to see who are 4 other running backs or 5 that you have on the list. C-Mac's on my list.
So my number 5 is Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, I got Chubb on mine. I agree.
Yes. So I think that when we look at running backs, he's a great all-around running back.
Mm-hmm.
The reason he's number 5 is he's the primary of the Cleveland tandem.
Yeah.
That includes Kareem Hunt.
I agree.
So they're kind of interchangeable pieces, but Nick Chubb is fairly better than Kareem Hunt in many avenues, and I think that's why he is higher on my list than Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he's going to have another great season. I think
they got him. They need to lean on him. They have to.
Yeah, and I think that's why realistically I put him as number 5 because you can count on him to get that 10 yards if you need it.
Yeah, I agree. My number 5 is Alvin Kamara. And I got him number 5 because strictly on just the ability to be a playmaker. He's not a pure back. I think of him as just a bigger Darren Sproles, which is not disrespectful. Alvin Kamara's not. He has thick legs, but he's not a big back. He's not the traditional back. Now he can get you some rushing yards, and he can catch out the backfield, but he's not going to get 20, 25 carries. He's going to get you 10 to 15. He may break some runs, and he'll get 12, 1,300 yards in the season, but he's also going to get about 600 to 800 receiving yards. So he's going to be a 2,000-yard all-purpose back. Again, he makes plays when you need a play. He can get you some yards, but he's just not a pure running back. So in a sense, technically, he's kind of in the honorable mention, but he's on the list because he is the best of the honorable mentions, which for him puts him on my list at number 5. So that's what I do there. And plus, he got that one game this season with 6 touchdowns he had. You can't knock that. The guy's a touchdown machine. Like I said, he's Alvin Kamara is the perfect back for today's game. You don't got to give him 20 to 30 carries. You can give him 10 to 15, get good production out of him, but still kind of maintaining his body and his health. So that's why he makes number 5 for me. But who you got for number 4?
So my number 4, I have Aaron Jones.
Okay. He was on my list at first, but I kind of switched him.
Okay. Well, my thing with him was he's never had a bad year since he's been in the league.
Yeah, has it?
Not only that, he averages 3 yards after contact.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
Especially for a small back. He's a small guy. He's not a big back.
The other thing with him is he's catchability. He can catch a ball if it's thrown to him.
Exactly.
He's not a one-dimension running back, which I mean, none of these guys on this list are one-dimensional. Yeah. So that's kind of my whole thing. But he's lower on my list than what I would have predicted. Mm-hmm. And the main thing is that what's going on in Green Bay right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my question right now. Is Aaron Rodgers coming back? Is he legitimate? We should
really do a video talking about that because it's getting bad, man. It's ramping up. Like it's so much drama. Like these guys got to be pulling their hair out. They have to, man. But yeah, no, I agree. Aaron Jones is a playmaker. Like he just makes plays. He's like Alvin Kamara. He just makes plays, and he's not a big back. That's cool, but he just makes plays. But my number 4, I got Nick Chubb. I feel like Nick Chubb is a pure running back. He can catch, but in terms of being, and like you said, he's the better half of the tandem that they have in Cleveland. Adding Kareem Hunt just makes Nick Chubb better, which means you don't have to completely rely on Nick Chubb. You can give him a break bring in another premier running back, and you could save Chubb, especially when you need him in like a playoff game. Yep. I think Cleveland needs to really lean on him more this year. Not on Baker, on Chubb and that running game. Because Nick Chubb, I mean, seeing him in Georgia, I thought he was a good back, but I thought Sonny Michel was the better back because he was featured more. Now in NFL, you see that Chubb is now transitioned better than Sonny Michel to the NFL. So now I'm like, Georgia should have featured Chubb more, but hey, I mean, the dude's name is Chubb, and that's a thick boy. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Nick Chubb is easily a top 5 running back. I mean,
oh for sure.
Arguably, he could be higher, but just for me, I got him at number 4. So, number 3, you got.
All right, so my number 3 was Alvin Kamara.
So he is on the list. Okay.
Yeah, he is on the list for me. I think he brings a totally different dimension to the Saints.
Agreed.
You know, they're not just a pass-happy offense no more.
Yeah.
You know, they can rely on him to run the ball 20 times, 25 times a game, you know, and still produce good numbers.
Exactly.
The biggest question that I had with him here is the retirement of Drew Brees.
Yes.
Is the new quarterback going to rely on him the same way that Brees did?
I want to say yes because it's a Sean Payton offense, but we're talking about. I mean, Jameis Winston is very like I'm going to throw the ball down the field in tight windows and be aggressive. Taysom Hill, he's
a gadget player.
He's a gadget guy, and we haven't really seen him feature the quarterback for a long period of time. Again, not trying to sound disrespectful, but I don't see Taysom. I mean, would he be a check down Charlie for Alvin Kamara? Personally, I would. It's an easy go. You know, they'll find a way to get Kamara the ball in space, but. That is a good question because we don't know who the starting quarterback in New Orleans is going to be or what type of offense Sean Payton will run because you know he's going to dictate it to the strengths of each quarterback. With Hill being more mobile than Winston, I think, oh, man, that's a good one. I agree, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's a conundrum there. But, yeah, Kamara has to be – like I said with Chubb, I think he has to be featured more heavily. Yeah. Definitely. I didn't mean to cut you off, but what else you got?
No, you're good.
Okay, you got anything else to say about Kamara?
No, man. Let's see what your number 3 is, man.
My number 3 is C-Mac, old Christian McCaffrey. Okay. Now I know he's coming off an injury like a lot of other players, but I don't think his injury is as severe like as Saquon's. Saquon, that's an ACL. That's severe, especially for a position that requires explosiveness and your primary movement and way ability is your legs. And Saquon is all legs. And Saquon, he is like a very explosive, shifty. He likes to hurdle guys. Christian McCaffrey just had an ankle injury. He's a smaller guy, which means he's not putting as much weight and he can recover easily. And he's not just a pure bang, 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 bang back. He's like Alvin Kamara. He's just white, and he's good looking. No homo.
Well, you know, you got to take into account when you're talking about Christian McCaffrey too. His dad was a famous wide receiver.
Yes. So growing up, his dad is one of the reasons why Denver Broncos is my second favorite team. Because that 90s team was Sharp and Elway and Rod Smith and Romanowski and Terrell Davis and Ed McCaffrey. I loved them. So when I found out that was Ed's son, I was like, hey, and he's playing for the Panthers. And, you know, my high school team was the Panthers in the same color scheme as the Carolina. So it all worked out. But, yeah, I think C-Mac, man, people sleep on him because white running backs don't get love. Like, the one position where a white guy does not get love is running back. You know, like you could be white and be a receiver. Oh man, he's killing it. You can be white and play defense, be an end like Watt or a linebacker, like Van Der Esch or something, or you could be a safety like Lynch or quarterback, all that. Tight end like Kelsey. A white guy, a running back for some reason, is just like, eh. You know,
It's always a flip coin.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, but that dude got some speed. He's shifty. He can catch out the backfield. He makes plays. And before he got hurt, that Carolina team was at best middle of the road. And he was the featured guy in the offense, and he was killing it. So that's why I got him on there at number 3. I think he's going to have a big bounce back.
I think realistically, when we look at it too, not only can he be an offensive player, he can be a special teams player. That's where he made his money in college.
Yes, he returning punts and shit at Stanford. He was just killing it, man. Very, very underrated return guy. But I don't think they'll do it in the NFL because they don't want him to get hurt. But yeah, he's a playmaker, man. He's a playmaker. But the top 2, I feel like we have the same guys. The question is, what is the order?
Okay. So I'm going to go, and my number 2, I'm going to piss off a lot of people right here.
Uh-oh.
I already know it.
Uh-oh.
We might get our whole entire podcast shut down because of this. Going into the season, my number 2 is Derrick Henry.
Okay, that's my number 2. So we're good. Yeah. So we'll just talk about him. Let's go ahead. Let's go.
Yeah, so this was a flip coin for me. Realistically, Henry is one of the most dominant runners in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
He is impossible to stop.
Impossible.
You know, when he gains momentum, it takes literally 2 or more defenders in order to stop him.
Yes.
The biggest thing to him, the biggest flaw, is that he's not the most dominant pass catching running back.
That's true, but he fits that offense. So
yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. Yes, because let's say if you put Derrick Henry on the Saints, I think he becomes much less effective. So him being in Tennessee is perfect, especially with his. I'm not trying to tackle a running back who is 6'4", 260. I do, and then especially as the game wears on, and if it's cold, man, hell no. If he comes my way and I'm a defender, I'm going to be like, I'm just going to fall, be like, coach, I got juked. I don't know what happened. Like, I'm not tackling that big ass dude, man.
Oh yeah, and man, dude, when he gets that momentum, man, when he gets that,
he's literally a train,
dude. Realistically, dude, he's like the juggernaut, man.
He is.
He literally just runs, and it's just,
bro. He's bigger than Von Miller. He's bigger than what Ray Lewis was. Like, you got to really take into account that he is the size of some of the defensive linemen, and he is playing running back, and he has enough jets. As we've seen on 99-yard touchdown runs, he will get loose. My thing about Henry, the thing I worry about with him is how many more years does he have at this level because of his size and his weight? Because, I mean, we don't know how much of a pounding he takes. He may not take as much of a pounding because he's so big, nobody may want to tackle him. I just worry about his health and his nutrition and all that in a couple of years, because that size and weight will weigh down on him.
Like, for sure.
Like
we talked about that.
Yeah, a big back like that is perfect for a good 7-8 year stretch. So he has to maximize the most he can, because I feel like once he hits 30, it's going to be real downhill from him. We may be wrong. He may just be a freak of nature.
Well, I mean, I think with him too, though, if he had to switch to a fullback position, in his later years, he could. He's big enough of a guy.
Easily.
Where he could switch to a fullback, and you know what I mean?
Bro, he could be a tight end. He could be a tight end.
Oh, yeah. He could. There's so many things he could be.
He's bigger than George Kittle.
Oh, yeah.
He's bigger than George Kittle. Like,
think about that.
That's crazy, because George Kittle is not a little man.
No.
Bro, that is wow. I think he's going to have another dominant season. especially now they got Julio over there. A.J. Brown is emerging. Ryan Tannehill just has to manage the game.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? That's Ryan Tannehill's major flaw.
You just see. Don't come over here trashing Tannehill. We talk about running backs.
Well, dude, I've said it before. When he was with the Dolphins, dude, he had a really good team with Miami.
But he also had Adam, what's his name too? In
Gase or whatever.
Gase, Case, and we know he is the quarterback ruiner, not whisperer. He is a ruiner.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? If you put Tannehill in those bad positions, man, he seems to always lose the game.
Well, not only that is you got to keep him in a position where he doesn't have to. You don't have to rely on him to win the game. Make it to where all he has to do is bring it home and manage it for you. He doesn't. Yep. You ain't got to put the pressure on him to be like, "Hey, I need a touchdown. Go out there and go give me fucking a touchdown." Don't put that on him. Just have him say, "Hey, the game is close. Take your time, drive it down the field, or we got the lead. Bring it home." That's what he's good for. That's okay. Because you can win with that. Teams have won with quarterbacks like that before. When you got a good running game and a good defense, you can win like that. Which is why I consider Tennessee a strong contender again this year. And now you have two big ass. If Julio stays healthy, you got two receivers and a tight end who you can just be like, all right, Ryan, just throw it in their vicinity and give them a chance, and then they'll go get it. But I'm going to assume number one is Dalvin Cook. You got DC.
Hell yeah.
You got DC. DC is the complete running back in NFL. Size, speed, he can catch, he can make you miss, he'll run you over, he'll get you the yards, he'll get you touchdowns, all that. I remember his freshman year, I was watching, I don't remember who they were playing when he was on Florida State. But the first game I saw him, and they could not stop him. And I'm like, I just remember like, who is this Dalvin Cook guy? And I'm like, he's a freshman? I was like, Jesus. Soon as he touched the ball, he would just, and it's not like, I know Florida State, they get good linemen and recruits, but it's not like they were doing this superior blocking. This guy literally would not go down, and he would just take over the game. I was like, who is Dalvin Cook? And as it went on, Florida State didn't get any better, but he got better. So when you got him in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins has to take advantage of Dalvin Cook. He has to. Dalvin Cook is, for Minnesota to get him after they don't have Adrian Peterson, it's the luck of the draw, man. But Dalvin Cook is the premier back in the league. I don't care what nobody says.
It's like going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers,
I agree. Yes. you just got him at running back now,
Yeah. But, the main reason I have Dalvin Cook as number one is if we were just talking about running the ball down the field, Henry would be by far number one. You can't stop him.
Yeah, you can't stop him.
But when we talk about Dalvin Cook, we're talking about one of the most capable pass catchers in the running back room.
Yes.
And then he could flip the script and he could play smash mouth football.
He can, and that's what I'm saying. He is a complete back. He has every dimension of everybody we listed on this list. He has every last one of it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no weakness in his game as a running back.
No.
Because he has the size. He has enough size. He has the strength. Yep. Like I said, he can catch. He has the speed. He'll run you over. He'll make you miss. If you can't get him in the running game, you can incorporate him in the pass game as another weapon. Everything about him makes him the perfect, complete back, which these days, for a position like how the game is played now, is a rarity. He is a novelty now. Like if you put Dalvin Cook in the 90s and 2000s, woo, and you built the team around him, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer all day. All fucking
Well,
day.
I think it's still early on in his career to sit there and say that he's Hall of Famer, but he's capable of getting.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying like if like you put him in that different era and you build around him, because these days we build the teams around the quarterback and what the quarterback is good at, and try to give him those weapons rather than like like how the Lions were built around Barry Sanders, like.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine this though? Could you imagine Dalvin Cook going over to the Ravens?
If Lamar can't win a Super Bowl with Dalvin Cook in the backfield, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what to tell you because
Dude, that'd be a
first of all, that is the scariest read option I would ever want to defend. First of all, that is not a read option I want any part of. Fuck read option, just put RPO because the thought that Lamar and Cook are in the backfield, he could hand it off, keep it. Or you really gotta, because you gotta respect Lamar running the ball. So if you got Dalvin Cook, what do you do as a defender? Like, who do you respect? And then if y'all are so focused on that, Lamar can pull it and throw it right behind your head to Mark Andrews.
Yep. That's what I'm saying, man.
And that's what J.K. Dobbins needs to be.
Yeah.
In order for Baltimore to win, because as we were saying last week, Lamar is a top 10 quarterback, but he's not the best of passers. And again, if that's not his game, that's cool. That's not a disrespect. That's not a knock. He's a playmaker. But I think they need to maximize Lamar now while he is still young and just can purely rely on his athleticism.
Yep.
I think he'll develop as a passer like Vic did in Philadelphia later on. But right now, that's not his game. But dude, the thought of Dalvin Cook and Lamar together? Oof. No, I do not want to see that. I'm not sleeping as a defensive coordinator because I'm not. Because if you blitz, like, who are you focusing on? You can't focus on both of them because Lamar can outrun your defense, especially if you're blitzing. And then you run in screens and draws with Dalvin freaking Cook. And then if you too focus on them, well, guess what? You still got to worry about Mark Andrews. And, Hollywood Brown has wheels. So, like, that's scary, bro. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
That would be one of those teams that just be a nightmare.
Imagine Dalvin Cook with the Bills and that offense. Because now you respect Josh Allen as a passer with Stephon Diggs. And you know Josh Allen as big as he is, especially in the goal line situation. Huh? What? No, I don't want to see that one either. I definitely don't want to see that because you're not blitzing. You're not blitzing Allen and Cook and leaving Diggs 1-on-1. No, absolutely not. No. So
well, then not only that, on top of that, you got the emergence of Davis that's coming up.
Yes.
Then you have Manuel Sanders. Now I get it; he's the old veteran guy,
but a veteran.
He can still put the burners.
Yeah. He's a veteran. He knows how to get open. If you can't tell me he doesn't know how to get open on the second and third corner.
Yep.
He does.
And you got Cole Beasley.
You got Cole Beasley out there who knows how to get open. So
dude, he's Mr. freaking separable right there.
He really is. I miss him down in Dallas. Fucking Jerry.
Dude, you know what? Man. The thing that blew me away with Cole Beasley this postseason, he was playing on a broken leg.
He's tough, bro. He's tough. I could have told you he's tough.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine going out playing against NFL caliber players?
Right.
Getting tackled. And with a broken leg.
Fucking leg.
All those factors.
Broken fucking leg and shit. Wow. If you was a defensive coordinator, which combination would you rather not see Cook? Cook and Lamar Jackson, Cook and Josh Allen.
See, my whole thing is, I would say more so I would lean more on the Bills not as being a biased, because I am a Bills fan.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But because the fact that they already have a very well-developed pass game, then you add someone that can run the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Moss, and I'm not taking away anything from Singletary. I think it's primarily the line issue with the Bills is that the Bills haven't necessarily developed a running line. They've developed a passing line that can hold, a pocket,
I agree.
And I feel like that maybe if you bring someone like Alvin Cook in, maybe he'd do really well. Maybe he wouldn't. We don't know. Now, on the flip side, when you're talking about with him and Lamar, Cook and Lamar would be scary because the fact that they have an offensive line that is built to run the ball down your throat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That line is, and just the way that rushing attack is just designed in Baltimore. But I bring up one more scenario. Dalvin Cook, Russell Wilson.
See,
because Russ extends the play.
Yeah.
So he won't really take off running. He will, but he is looking to just extend the play. You can only cover so long.
I feel like when we're talking about, if we were to talk about those two, right, we need to take, in account when he was playing with the beast himself,
Beast.
And he was just an immaculate running back.
Yeah.
But he was an all-purpose running back as well.
Yeah.
And if you were to give him someone like that again, because let's be honest, Seattle's had a shit for running back.
They have, man. They have. And it's not even that it's been shit. They just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
They can't stay healthy.
So maybe they'd be a Super Bowl team again. I don't know.
I think so. I really think so.
Well, I mean, he's that's the thing, man. Wilson with the ball is dangerous. It doesn't matter what he does with it.
True, I agree.
He can pass it, he can throw it, he can run it. And this is a guy who's been in the league for a while.
Yeah.
Now, what? It's 8 seasons now?
Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot my other honorable mention. Just to go back, I forgot. Like I remember, I said Ronald Jones of the Buccaneers. When they need him, he shows up. Simple as that. Simple as that. When they need a big game, whether it's Fournette is there or not, when they needed Ronald Jones this past season, he showed up. Simple as that. I mean, you think Tampa Bay is beaten. Next thing you know, they're giving the ball to Ronald Jones 3-4 times in a row. He's getting the first down. They're just like, can they stop him? No, they can't stop him. They cannot stop him at all. And so he Ronald Jones, like I said, if it was the top 10, if we had, which I think is hard to make, Rojo gets on there.
Okay. So, I mean, me and you have talked about this too. We don't really necessarily rely on rookies when we're coming out with these lists because we don't know what it's going to be.
We don't.
Who do you think is going to be the standout running back this year?
Najee Harris. He's in a perfect situation. He's in Pittsburgh. He's in Pittsburgh with a damn near veteran team, veteran coach, veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, Big Ben doesn't have to do it all. Think when Big Ben was winning Super Bowls, who did he have in the backfield? He had a running back. He had an all-pro running back. Now he's getting that again. Pittsburgh likes to run the ball. They're smash mouth.
Yeah.
They got the perfect back from Alabama. And Najee Harris can play in the receiving game just like Kamara, just like Cook, just like McCaffrey. And running back is the easiest transition from college to pro. Because you just, at least in the beginning, you just out-athlete everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think my biggest thing with him, I feel like he was relied so much in college.
Yeah.
Right? Comparative to some of the other guys that were drafted this year, that he may wear down sooner than later because the Alabama offense relied on him. It wasn't.
Yeah, and he stayed 4 years.
Yeah, and he's just constantly beating his body up. Now, does that mean anything? No, not really. He's a young guy. You won't know until it happens,
Yeah, no, you're
But
right.
I think Travis was it Etienne?
Oh,
I can't.
ATN? Yeah, ATN,
Yeah,
yes.
he
I don't think they're
he's
going to use him
going
right.
back to his quarterback.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to use him right. I don't think so. I don't
We
think
don't
he will
know.
be used like he was. I mean, I want to say he'll be used like he was in Clemson, but I just, oof. First of
Well,
all, we
let's
don't
see
even know if
here.
Urban Meyer can coach in the NFL.
Yeah,
It's not Ohio State anymore. This is the NFL. You with the Jaguars, who is, according to, um, who was it? I saw a report. Jacksonville has one of the top 5 worst rosters in the whole league. They're like number 2 or 3 or some shit. Um,
okay.
so Urban Meyer, you're really gonna have to just coach this year. You can't just walk on the field and be like, I got the best players, go kick their ass. No, it don't work like that because everybody in the NFL is good. So now you gotta
Yeah.
actually coach. So we don't know, but I think
You
ETN
know,
will
it's
be
crazy.
second. Yeah, what's up?
So we look at the roster for him, right?
Yeah.
I think outside of what's the I can't remember his name. The guy who they pretty much called the circus
At
was a
where?
quarterback. I
At
can't
where?
think now. He was for the Broncos.
Oh, Tebow.
Tebow.
Yeah.
The oldest player, the most experienced is a wide receiver of 10 years. All the rest of them are significantly new in the league. And that's the one thing, man. We don't know. And we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think that Jacksonville's going to do shit this year.
No.
We've talked about it many times. Do they have the ability to, though? It's the NFL. Some of the
Anything.
worst.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Any given Sunday, man. Now,
So I think
go ahead.
I think if we really look at it, man, it could be a very interesting season. Really be.
I think so,
Now, I don't
especially
think.
with the extra game.
Yeah, see, I
That's
don't
weird,
know
bro.
how that's going to work
Bro, I
out.
don't know either. Like, do they get 2 bye weeks or what the fuck is that? I still don't know the
They only get one
details.
bye week.
They still get the 1?
Yeah, they only get one.
Bro, this is. But they're
Like
cutting
Bills
2
get,
preseason
week
games, so
5 or 6.
yeah, they're cutting 2 preseason games though, which I'm cool with because who
I think that's
fucking
a good
watches
thing.
that? Yeah, who watches that shit anyway? Nobody watches that shit.
Yeah.
We watched the first preseason game because we're just itching for football. After that, we're like, okay, it's preseason. Can we start the
It
season?
won't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. We're itching for football. Before we go, do you want to cover some college football? Like the big stories. Like we just like sprinkle it in here during the week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not really big into college
football?
football, man.
I am. I didn't
know.
really keep
I mean,
up with it
you can-
last year. It's hard to keep up with it during COVID because it's like, wait, who's playing this week? Oh, the game got canceled? Oh, it got postponed? Then Ohio State
Yeah.
gets in the playoffs with 5 games. So it's like, it was hard this past season to keep up with it. But if there's a big story, like, oh, we can talk about now that players can make money off their likenesses and stuff.
Yeah.
They can do that, yes. You know what? We can talk about that. We'll get to all that. Definitely. But next
Now,
week.
I got a question for you on that.
Okay.
With the contract, I just seen there was a basketball player he was getting $2 million a year
Mm-hmm.
while he's in college, right? How does that affect them? Going into the draft and then being picked up by a team. How do you think it's going to affect them?
Not at all. Because they can just say, hey, I don't have to say I'm not illegally getting paid, illegally or under the table.
Yeah.
They can
No, I
openly
agree with
say,
that.
hey, I'm getting this money, and because the top players are already getting money from somewhere. We all know that. They just can't openly come out and say it, because they had the rules in place. I get that. I'm glad that they're going to do this image and likeness, but it's not going to help everybody. It's only it's only going to help the football and basketball players, and mostly the football players, because if I'm on the college baseball team, or if I'm a female athlete on the volleyball team, what's going to really change for me?
Well, they can get sponsorship money now
They
too.
can, but are you as you as a corporate sponsor, are you looking? Are you checking for college volleyball? Are you checking
Yeah,
for
that's true.
softball? I mean,
Well,
the two
but,
major
but
sports are basketball and football,
yeah, you're
especially
right.
college football. So this really
Now,
affects college football players, people like Trevor Lawrence, who was so popular before he even got to Clemson. He can go do those local car, commercials or whatever for the city in Clemson or wherever the hell the school's at, and he can get paid and just build his brand. Whereas
yeah.
you have, Sally Mae on the gymnastics team. Yeah, she can turn 30,000 backflips in the air, but as a sponsor, you're gonna be like, eh?
Well, I think this could help out more than just what you think because for instance, like Callaway, right? So
Yeah.
we're talking golf balls and volleyballs and stuff like that, right?
Uh huh.
What if they sponsor a team and that team, now those players get, a livable
I
wage
agree. Yeah.
for playing sports?
I hope. Like I said, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like, especially if you're making the school. Like, I like to use Zion Williamson as a perfect example. I mean, he may do so much. Their ticket prices that year. I do not pay attention to college basketball. Not even during March Madness. The season that Zion was at Duke was the most I've ever watched college basketball because of all the hype surrounding him. And it was a legit hype. Like the games were exciting, even when they lost. He brought so much money into Duke. They raising ridiculous ticket prices. Like ticket prices were like higher than Super Bowl tickets for a
Yeah.
Duke regular season college basketball game.
And you know what the sad thing is about it too, right?
Yeah.
Think about all that money you just said, right?
Uh
How
huh.
much it was for that, right?
Yeah.
The school gets to keep that money.
Yeah. Zion
Yeah,
saw none of
that's
that.
profit.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point in time, like for instance, like Zion Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were that effective of a player to bring in that much of a crowd, during this whole thing, because it's $1 billion industry that they don't
Exactly.
pay nobody.
Yeah.
They literally pay no one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if they gave that sliver, you know what I mean? That sliver
Yeah.
where, hey, this is a college student, but he don't have to live in the dorms because now
Yeah.
he can go, rent an apartment. He's got enough money to rent an apartment
Mm-hmm.
or maybe get a car. You know what I mean? Not a great car, but a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think this is going to help the schools too, because now you're going to bring in, just like the professional games, a lot of corporate sponsorships. They're going to come in, especially if they're big name athletes. Those corporate sponsorships want to be featured around big names. So
oh
now
yeah,
I think this is just a win for I really think this is a win for everybody. Not as big of a win for, like I said, the gymnastics team or the lacrosse or the wrestling team, but it's still a win for everybody. It's just a bigger win for the football and basketball players, and mostly the football players.
I think this was really designed really for football.
Yeah, it's really for
Um,
football. That they're really the only ones that's going to affect, because the college
well,
basketball. I mean, March Madness now is going to make a killing in corporate
and
sponsorships.
I think but we look at it too, man. We're not just looking at like the whole like small picture either.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are going to a very expensive school,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's going to allow them not just to get a school paid for, especially like the athletes that are on those half rides or three
Yeah.
quarters or even a quarter.
Yeah.
It's going to allow them to get that much further ahead in life, kind of thing.
Yeah. And now I saw Des Bryant he's trying to set up like I don't want to say seminar, some type of program where he will help student athletes. Now that they're going to be making money, he will help them to where they know how to manage that before they go pro, or if they don't go pro, they still know how to manage whatever finances they will make, so they don't just blow it and go broke on the wrong thing or in bad investments, and people take advantage of it.
Like Des Bryant.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, don't be disrespectful to the ex, man.
Hey,
This still rich.
Facts are the facts, man. Like they say, most pro athletes, if they're not the Mr. Almighty, right? And I mean, the number one face of the franchise, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow your money. They buy that Lamborghini they always wanted. They buy their mom, their dad, their cousin, their sibling, whatever. Then by the end of the day, they still got to pay taxes.
Yeah, you still got to pay all your shit, and you just bought everybody everything they wanted. And then it's like you still got to pay your agent, and you got to pay a lot. Just still shit you got to pay. You got to pay for your lifestyle still. Like
Oh yeah, I think that's something that we're gonna see. Maybe the athletes will have to start taking money management.
I was just gonna say that I think it should be a requirement if you are a student athlete, not just a regular student. If you are a student athlete, and I know it'll be harder for like the college basketball players because they're one and done. So your freshman year requirement, you are taking some type of money management or financial management class, because you're going to be making big boy money. You need to learn how to act like a big boy or big girl and make those decisions financially.
Yeah.
So I think that should be a requirement.
And I think there shouldn't be scholarships. Yeah, hear me out.
No. I was going to say I agree. Like if you're going to get paid, what the fuck you need a scholarship for? You're getting paid.
No. If you're a student athlete, right? The college should be paying you, right? And I understand that that's quote unquote how they did it but for instance, right? Alabama just on merchandise cleared like $2 or $3 billion last year. Merchandise. That's just having the little Alabama Roll Tide,
Yeah.
That shit. Keychains, T-shirts, hats, jerseys, all that stuff. And the sad thing is, this is all extra money for him. This is the coach is laughing at it, whatever. And that's why I think that there's their college should be paid for already. I mean, no anything, because they're making you money. And then two, they should have, like I said, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to make $1 million.
You don't.
Maybe not even, 80,000, maybe 50,000. 50,000, it's enough. And then if you get sponsorships, go for it. You know what I mean? Like get that extra money.
Yeah.
But $50,000, $50,000 for people like me and you, we make it through. You know what I mean? Like we make it work on 50. And that's the thing, man. Like if you gave them, 50,000, maybe they don't fucking make it past college, in sports. But hey, you know what? I lived on 50,000 before. I know how to live on 50,000 or 40,000. Whatever the case may be.
I agree.
So that way it gives them a realistic start, so that maybe they're not trying to hunt for that 6-figure job right away.
I agree, man. And that's what I said. I think they need to take some type of financial management or like leader course, or I don't know, bro. I mean, we're looking at it logically because that's how we look at it, and we're not in that position. But we're also talking about 18, 19-year-old kids.
Oh yeah.
Who a lot of them probably don't come from money, and as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, you're probably thinking like, especially a guy, you're like, shit, I'm about to go out and get clothes. I'm about to spend money on bitches and XYZ. I'm going to go get a fucking Camaro or Ashton, just blow your money. And women may just go buy purses and bags and heels, and they may go get a, Brazilian butt lift or some shit, just...
Yeah, no, you're right. No, it's when it's that whole thing of, the more money you earn, the more money you spend.
Yeah.
Because you do have more expenses. You may want to get that new pair of Air Jordans every time it releases. Because you have the extra money for it.
Right.
does it mean that that's financially intelligent or smart? Maybe not.
No, but yeah.
But I mean, maybe it's that one that ends up being, $5,000 a year down the road.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right.
I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, man. This is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see this. Yeah, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad the podcast is back, and we're gonna we're gonna be really wrapping this up, man. But next week, guys, we're doing top 10, right? We're doing 10 receivers.
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10, because I think we can do. I could realistically do.
You know what?
15, 20.
Nah. Let's do top receiver groups. Ooh. Top 10 receiver groups. Now here's why I say that.
Ooh, I like that idea though.
Yeah, you may, dude. We might have a team on here that we're not even fucking thinking about.
Fucking Cowboys #1. No, I'm joking. Well, I mean, if we're talking about just looking at it from a name perspective and talent on paper, you can't tell me the Dallas Cowboys aren't top 5.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, well, just when you look at Amari Cooper and then what's the Debo? Is it
Michael Gallup? Michael Gallup.
No. Who's the one you guys just drafted?
Oh, CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb. There we go.
He will never see the playoffs, but hey, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, just
I love you, CeeDee. I'm sorry.
Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Dude, those are two guys who are very similar, very explosive, and just very good all-around wide receiver.
I agree.
And that's where, I mean, Dallas, that's what I've said for years, man. I've said it probably, 3 years now.
Well,
Dak Prescott is the issue.
I'll say this, too. Should we incorporate, because of the way the game is played today, just incorporate the tight ends in that group? Because if you do, you got to put the Chiefs with Kelsey and Hill.
No. And here's the reason I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends fill 2 roles. They
True.
fill the role of a receiver and of a blocker.
True. I agree.
So, and not only that, a lot of them now play a halfback or a fullback position too.
Yeah.
So you have these. I mean, I would say tight end is the gadget player. You can put him anywhere.
Yeah.
And make it work.
Yeah. He's the Gerber, but it's a required Gerber, because if you got a good game changing tight end, he helps a lot of things. So yeah.
Or you have that really good blocking tight end. You may not even think of a fucking tight end that's good, and then you see him how he blocks, dude. You're like, oh, you know what? He's a top tight end.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, man. No, I like that. Yo, we'll do top 10 receiver groups. We'll definitely do that. Yeah, I like that, because there's so many. Because you could have a good #1 and have a good #2, and they'd be good as a group.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that idea. So yeah, guys, next week, top 10 receiver groups. We're gonna be top 10, and after that, we'll do tight ends. And then we're also going to be grouping in offensive lines, like as a unit, because I couldn't name 5 offensive linemen just off the top of my head. So we're going to go as a group, because, usually that is the one position or positions that works literally as a unit. Then after that, we'll adjust accordingly. But guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave your comments down in the comment section. What do you think about the new NCAA rule? Players can make money off their likeness. Do you agree with our top 5 list? Do you think Alvin Cook agree with me, Z, that he is the most complete back? You better agree, because he is. Anyway.
Hold on. I got one thing.
Uh-oh.
We're going to try to make a Facebook page.
Yes.
In the works.
In the works.
We're trying it. We're going to try to do it live video as we're doing these podcasts.
Yes.
And then we'll have the podcast as a backup.
Yes. This podcast will not be ghetto forever. We will take this podcast to the next level. I tell you what, the goal is to eventually get real athletes on this bitch we can interview and talk to. We will have it happen. I guarantee you. All right? Because
call us crazy.
It'd be crazy. That's the fucking goal. Look
for sure.
We're taking shit to a new level, man. We're gonna take it to the new heights. All right. But thank y'all so much for coming through. Thank you to everybody who watches. You guys, we really love this. We do this for y'all. But we could just sit up here and do this shit and just talk because we love sports. Literally, what y'all see here is how me and Z talk and just regular. This is how we talk. This is what we do. So thank y'all so much. Start getting more guests. J Bro wants to come back on. He definitely wants to come on and talk some football. I got other people, the guys from the YouTube fam, Kenny, Foxy, shout out to y'all, Miss. They want to come on, talk about some football too. We'll get some more people on. But in the meantime, you guys, links to social media platforms are in the description. Be sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new or you enjoyed what you heard. Share the content. Come back next week for more. Next week, we're covering top 10 receiver groups. If you missed last week's episode, go check it out. We covered the top 10 quarterbacks. Today, we did top 5 running backs. We talked about a little bit about NCAA. But guys, y'all be safe. This is Apollo signing out. Z is signing out. We'll catch you guys next time. Be safe. We love y'all. Glory to God.